Hey, how's it going, everybody? Irish Prepper 2A here, and I am going to show you some of the foraging that I found when I took Remy out on his last walk. Yeah, there you go, buddy. So, before I get into anything else, I want to advise you that before you go out and forage in the wild, make sure make sure that you can positively identify what you're looking for. All right. So in this case, I found what is called Dryad saddle, or another term is Pheasant Back. And they call it that because of these, the way the layers grow, and it looks like feathers. Now, these are two of the smaller ones that I gathered up. Now, that's a much larger one that I had to cut in half. All right. And they say it should have a smell of either cucumber or watermelon rind. Well, I mean, it certainly doesn't smell like a mushroom, and I would agree that it smells like, some other type of vegetable. You know, yeah, cucumber, watermelon. I could go with that. Let's take another check. Yeah, I could go with that. So, as I said, you look and you see the pattern on the top of the mushroom here, especially on this one. You can see it. And then look underneath, and you're going to see what looks like a very spongy honeycomb texture underneath there. No gills. There's no gills on this. And there's going to be a separation between that and what they call the mushroom meat. Let's look over at a bigger one. And you can see that much more, see that, there it is, right there. A very spongy, porous texture before you get to the meat. Now, on these larger specimens, the further you go back, the worse it's going to get. I have not tried it. That's what they say. I am going to trust people that went before me. But even on the bigger portions, they say you can consume the outer and it will be palatable. Now these younger ones, these smaller ones, they should be good to go. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to scoop out that spongy honeycomb texture and just get down to the meat of the mushroom before I cook it. Stay tuned. Here we go. Alright guys, so we scraped all that honeycomb out of the mushrooms. You can see I pretty much did away with the big ones. That's about what I took from those. But I kept the two smaller ones. Again, looking at that identifying feature on there. So I am going to slice these up and get these going in a saucepan, and we'll see what happens. And as I said, always be sure of what you're finding and cooking before you eat it. If you are not 110% sure, do not do it. So, with that being said, if you never see a video from me again, you know I was wrong. Let's go. Alright, so I have some butter and onion sauteing in the pan right now. I'm going to let that cook for a little bit before I go ahead and put those saddle mushrooms in. And let's see what happens. We're going to throw a little bit of salt on there as well. It's not going to be every ingredient that you want in an SHTF situation. Obviously, I'm doing this in my kitchen at my leisure with all the amenities, but you know, practice makes perfect. So let's get these little guys cooked up and we'll see what happens. Those just have to cook another minute or so, and I will add some mushroom. Let's go for it. Okay, so we've added the mushroom in, the dried saddle mushroom. Now they say that this mushroom has a tendency to get very dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a little bit of water in also. I know water and oil doesn't mix, but want to try and keep these as tender as possible. So let's give this a stir. And I'm just going to keep stirring these around for the next, I don't know, 6-7 minutes, whatever. Let's see if I can get these evenly cooked. It almost looks like tofu, to be honest. Like see that piece right there? That one right there. It's like how blocky it is, if that's even a word. Alright guys, let me cook this up and I will catch up with you in a few moments. Alright guys, here it is, the moment of truth. And that is the prepared dried saddle, or pheasant back, as you would call it. Let's give it a taste test and see what happens. Alright. Here we go. I put way too much salt on this. Very fibrous. Fibrous, is that the word I'm looking for? It's very crunchy. I don't know if I'm getting into the older pieces. There. Got 2 on there now. Maybe I overcooked this. Doesn't taste like mushroom at all. What can I describe it? Man. It's very like woody, a woody taste. And maybe I can find a good one here. There it is. That must have been the tender portion. That's better. Still chewy, but much more palatable. So yeah, guys, harvest these and make sure you know what you're harvesting. Make sure you know. Harvest these when they're very young, small, like I showed you previously. Just skip by the big ones. You know, they're done. That bite wasn't too bad. I put way too much salt on this. Seasoned this lightly. Obviously, I had some onion and butter in here as well. But, it is what it is. I mean, in a complete SHTF situation, yeah, you can gather these at the appropriate time. Not all of it is going to be good as the other parts. Get them while they're young. When they get any bigger than the size of your fist, skip it, man. Just skip it. It's really not worth it. So, well, I will do a follow-up video in the next day or two. If I don't, you know I chose the wrong mushroom and I'm dead. So, you all have a blessed day. Take care. Irish Prepper 2A signing off.